Today I'm going to be changing out this iPad screen. Here at The Provider, I tried to show you ways and ideas that you can provide for yourself and your family. I thought I was recording when I first started this, but I guess not. I'm going to try and repair this iPad screen here. Replace it, I should say. I've been pouring the heat to this corner, and I just got this tool inserted. This video I've been watching, and this adhesive seems pretty tenacious, so we'll see what kind of luck I get. Probably a little too far there. There we go. Alright, got some good delamination there. So yeah, the whole thing is just pouring the heat that's got adhesive. It's pretty nasty 3M adhesive all the way around. I'm just gonna do that for quite a while. Just kind of peel the screen back. Like I said, I've never done this before. This thing is pretty roached, and I figured before I go ahead and spend a couple $100 on a new iPad, I might as well give replacing the screen a shot. Say what?
I said I was told to come and show you.
That's funny.
Anyway, we were singing Troll Song.
Cool.
How's it going?
Decent.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna work?
I'll find out. So I'm just pouring the heat to it here. I hope it's not too much. Doesn't seem like it's too much. So I'm kind of glad I got my safeties on here. This stuff, when it breaks, man, it just had a little chunk pop up and hit me in the glasses. So I guess that's tempered glass for you. Or I'm guessing this is some sort of tempered high strength glass. I don't know, Gorilla Glass maybe? Alright, let's see what we can do. We're gonna try and just flop this thing over, man. See how much of this we can get going. So, according to the pros, I said be careful over in this area because of a home button ribbon. Oh yeah, it's coming up real nice. Okay, so let's try standing her up. Oh no. Okay, doing my best to be careful in this area. Looking down at it, putting my pressure. Oof, this plastic tool is not very, here we go. I can kind of see the adhesive peeling. There we go. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Get me some of that. Hoo-hoo, yeah. Who is number 2 working for? Okay, man. Pouring the heat to it. I can see this little home button ribbon dealio here. Oh man, this little piece, man, is not the best. Okay, let's get that guy out of there. And we can keep flopping this. Flopping this. Alrighty. So, home button guy. I'm gonna have to scroll back on my video a hot second and see how he pulled that thing off of there. Don't want to mess this up and all. Alright, so he just took his little tool, pried up under this thing. So let's go with giving it a little bend here. There we go. Got one. Good. Two.
With the home button ribbon separated, we can now
Kids' bathroom's right above us. That's why you can hear them squealing. They're having fun times with mom, giving them a bath.
Alright. So it seems I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, I am concerned about that, so need to be careful there. Okay. I think I felt that release, yes. Alright, so now we're just gonna look like I'm gonna pour a little more heat to that. He just yanked it right off, but man, that thing looks delicate.
don't forget to save the home button plastic for the new assembly.
Yeah, what he said. Delicate electronics. Delicate electronics.
With the screen separated, we can now go ahead and clear away the extra glass shards from the frame.
Just giving a little light upward pressure there. And there we go, man. That thing. Okay. Pulls nice. Pulls nice. Okay, so now we get to a little delicate section here. These 90-degree bends. It's always a kind of a tricky thing. A lot of things tear. Oh yeah. Whew. Okay, now that I got that there, I'm gonna pry that piece of glass out of there like that. All right, then homeboy on the video here, I mean, he just cut this thing. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, so
I'm gonna fast forward real quick and check that out, because
dude on the video said we cut these. This seems a little crazy to me. So it's cut, and now I can pull the screen off here. Woo! Dang! So there we go. Screen's off. I don't know if that's the hard part or not. They say to save this guy. Save the button. Yeah, saving the button. All right. So this can get trashed. And then just gonna clean up all around here. Get the rest of these glass shards off. Ooh, that wasn't bad. Oh, hey
What are
man.
you doing?
Fixing the iPad. You know how I had a broken screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it get broken?
You dropped it when you were a little boy, when you were a little baby.
Yeah, I remember that.
You do. So we're fixing it.
Yeah, so is this the iPad screen?
No, that's the cover. That's the old cover.
Whoa. Can I help?
Well, this glass is kind of sharp, but I don't want you to get cut.
Cut it.
Cut.
Cut it.
Nope. The proper way to say it would be cut.
I'm using tweezers.
Because there were like a lot of little parts. I'd actually, can I borrow those?
Yeah.
And so they help to grab all these little parts. You like that?
Yeah, like it's an airplane flying off to get the people to go.
Oh yeah, that was a good pull right there, man.
Yeah, that was a giant pole.
That was a giant pull.
Daddy, I think you have some on the bottom too.
How was bathroom?
It was fine.
Yeah.
We almost did tongue of ballet.
It doesn't seem like that's necessarily appropriate. Where did you hear about that?
I just think of it.
You just thought of it? Okay.
How do you take this out?
Nope. Put that down. That's sharp. That's a knife. There you go. You can play with that. Let's be gentle on that. How about you use that guy? It's actually, look at these guys are far right here.
Everything's on cool. Oh,
Oh man.
These little guys right here, these are the bee's knees, I'll tell you that. Okay. Cool.
Buff. What are these then?
Screwdrivers, little screwdrivers.
Oh my.
What's your brother doing?
Human.
Okay. Now that LCD's out, it's a lot easier to get this glue off using a razor blade. It scrapes off pretty easily.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to the garage. I took a little bit of a break there from the scraping. You guys might recognize this part. I had a little change of plans. I actually had to watch the last video to see where we left off on this. We were doing some measurements on the saddle here, but this, to be quite frank, the shop and the workbench and everything just got way too sloppy, way too dirty. It started lending to some frustration in sort of the final measurements. So what I decided to do was hold off on the actual scraping, clean this place out, really scrub everything down, and I'll give you a sneak peek of where the grinder is so far. And I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to pick this back up again and start to scrape in these last 4 surfaces here and 1 on the table. In order to do that, I'm going to have to whip up a little scraper to be able to get into these small dovetails. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull scrape in here. I have no idea what a pull scraper looks like to get in underneath these small dovetails. I'm going to go, you know, to this, make essentially a smaller version of this this Anderson style push scraper. This is just way too big to get in there and get all the way to the bottom. And that's the point of this video. I'm going to warm up a little bit and just walk you through making a small version of this scraper. I don't know how exciting this is going to be, but we'll braze some carbide, make a handle, make a little scraper, sharpen it, and just get ready to start pulling the surfaces in. And here's how the grinder's coming along. Like I said, I really had to clean this place up. It was just getting just way too filthy, grit and grime everywhere. Every time and for size, I just went through my screwdriver collection and played around with these, you know, near the saddle. And something like this seems like about the right length and size. It's about 8 inches, I suppose, plus, you know, some of the scraper tip. What I plan to do is mill a slot in here to receive a piece of this carbide. I'm just going to nick this with a little diamond wheel and just snap it off. So I've got the round in the vise and just a 1/16 slitting saw. I measured the carbide, it's actually a hair oversized, so we'll see how well that cut is. Otherwise I'll just clean it up with a small, maybe a small file if it's not too much work. Wonder if that'll focus. So just a little slot. Broke off a piece of the carbide. Let's clean it up a little bit. Just a rough diamond plate here. Just want to make sure we get a good bond with the brazing. That's where I nicked it with the diamond cutoff wheel. And then I gave it a sharp tap with a hammer. You can see it broke exactly where I wanted it to. Stuff's been sitting a while. Let's get separated a bit. Flare at the bottom. It just looks nice, the little flare. The return at the top I think will be useful. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to be using the metal lathe in maybe a bit of an unconventional way. I have some 1-inch thin wall tubing. I think it's about 40 thou. And what we're going to do is use this very, just a round polished, I think like a 1/2 inch CRS, and just push this metal over. I'd like to get it as close to center as possible. Maybe just drill it for 3/8 for the scraper tool to come through. So we've got the tool mounted on the lathe at about 45 degrees. That's just so I can work on both sides, you know, as I roll this tubing over. I'm going to set this to its maximum speed, which in this case is about 1200 RPMs, I believe. I'm going to take it slow and move the metal gently. Again, not very orthodox. Just be careful if you try this yourself. Jaws aren't hot, tool holder's not hot. I think I went a little too aggressive on that. I'll show you a close-up, but there's a little bit of a fold in the metal. I should have, if I would have been a little bit more patient, it would have gotten hotter and maybe have flowed a little bit more uniform, but I don't think that's going to make any difference at all. I'm just going to clean up this hole so we can get the